let's light some sage to get it started, right? I usually use matches, but this is cool. Oh, this don't even really want to light like that. And then I'm going to do some tarot. I want to have a, a brief conversation before we dive, because it's been a minute. I want to get some energy. I can't say I am, but I do want to get some readings done for all the signs this week. So let's just clear the energy. Let's ask the Great Mother guide this, that, it's all love, divine healing here, and that we just create a safe space for any souls that find their way to this live stream. Ashe. Okay, so here's delicious. Okay, so what was my other topic? I'm so sorry, y'all. I had a really busy day, but don't I always? And I wanted to, I don't know why it doesn't show me here what it is. Anyway, the dreams, and then we're going to talk about tarot readers that get taken over by negative spirits. I wanted to talk about that a little bit because people act like for a psychic or a tarot reader to have an implant or to have or to be influenced by negative beings or beings. A negative being isn't a trickster. They may have trickster principles, but a negative being isn't a trickster. A negative being is one that actually manipulates other beings and violates the principle of free will to an extent, because we still have some universal laws that we put in place to like keep the order in all the chaos and all the different beings and all the different, stuff that we have going on in the multiverse. So that just helps. Well, these universal laws are for this particular universe, but I mean, like, for the multiverse, they're going to have their own universal laws, every universe. So people act like spiritual teachers, tarot readers, and spiritualists, other spiritualists, various kinds, shamans. Shamans are actually probably, if someone's deciding to walk a path of a shaman, they're honestly more or less going to be the most spiritually protected, because the shamans really do work with plants and plant medicine, and they really go there. They go there, and then they usually work within a system where they have to be initiated and work with other shamans. They don't all do that, but shamans tend to be pretty solid because they're learning everything from the earth. And if you're learning everything from the earth, that means you're honoring the plant, you're going to honor the animals, you're going to honor everything that's around you. So but there's still like dark magic, and I don't mean black magic, dark magic, I'll call it, because black magic is just primordial magic. There's still dark magic in shamanism as well, and there's karma that needs to be cleared from that as well, and it has to be cleared. I got a channel on it. It has to be cleared from the forest, the energy from the forest themselves. Okay, so if anyone's a shaman and you need to do that, like, go help clear your karma and go help clear some of those plants and stuff that you got around the area. Sorry, I had something in my eye. So this is something that's been coming up that I really didn't want to speak about, and my spirit kind of led me to do other stuff instead of tarot for a little bit. I'm never away from tarot for too much. I love tarot. Was because there was, and it's starting to now. So what ends up happening is that a lot of I was called away, I think, from tarot and I'm building other things, but a lot of tarot readers, it feels like there was a spirit of ego. It was some negative ego stuff that was happening. Not much. It was a spirit of, I'm like, it's weird because sometimes when I read, I'll hold the energy in my hands. That's why I'll just put my hands out and hold the energy. Spirit of deception. Oh, and I see why too now. Okay, so it was a spirit of deception. And I'm just going to my higher self, and I'm just like, hey, throw me a throw me a alley oop here, because I just wanted to be right and exact when I explain this. Okay, so from what I'm seeing, it's a spirit of deception that was going around and deceiving tarot readers who weren't spiritually protected. And this was done because they had certain followings and they could lead people. Oh, this is a form of time wasting. Or, you'll go to a reader and something will resonate, and then you'll go to another one. And this wasn't going around in all the community. It seemed like certain sects of it, but the energy did seem dense to me, which is why I fell back a little bit, because the energy did seem a little dense to me, and I was like, I love tarot. I don't know why I don't feel called to do it right now. But yeah, there was something going on with a spirit of deception, and I like channeling better, honestly. It's more fun. But something was going on with tarot with a spirit of deception, and then something was going on where the energy, and when people were reading cards, it sort of was going around in circles. That's the best way I could describe it. You know how, like, when someone has a problem and they tell you their problem, and hello, so they tell you their problem and you tell them the solution, and they seem to like still do the same thing, and then they'll come to you the next week, or when you sit there and talk to them, it's like 20 times in a row they talk about the same thing over and over again. So that's like a negative archonic sort of brain like cycle that they're in, and this is not normal. That's why your mind will feel kind of dull when you're around people like this. Now, we may have a theme or a purpose for our life, that's one thing, but it's another thing to get into a mind loop like that. It's not natural. It's not natural. And a lot of people, a lot of family members of my own, honestly, would get into these mind loops, and I would just sit there and be like, why can't you think of anything other than what you're thinking about? Like, why are you... I don't do free readings. If you want a reading, just hit me up. Thank you, Amanda. So a lot of people would get into these like mind loops, and a lot of our family members do that. And then if we have a lot of anxiety, we'll do that as well ourselves. So it's just really important to, if you are a tarot reader and you do read tarot, it's really important for you to stay spiritually protected, to cleanse your aura daily, to hamster wheel. That's a good one, Joe. To cleanse your aura daily and to really channel love, like pure love straight from source through your heart. And if you can channel that out from your heart space, you'll be able to really cleanse and burn off a lot of negative energies, attachments, lessen the influence of negative energies, and it will cleanse your whole aura. So you'll be in a more like divinely guided space. So yeah, that's something that's going to be important at this time. And if people get into that weird energy of I don't want to say it's a complete deception, but if you can sense that they're really, really getting into ego consciousness, and if you can sense that they're really, really something's off about them, then I would recommend, even if it's me, like honestly, listen, I if you fuck with me, you fuck with me. Like, if you don't, you don't. But if somebody's energy is off to you and it just doesn't feel pure, then you probably want to sort of like take a break from them and then maybe come back, because they might just be having a bad time. You know what I mean? For that month, they might be working through some things. You might want to come back later and check, and just send them some love, send them some healing, support, and, go on your way. Now, what I explained in my email, so my email subscribers, I just thank you, and you guys got this first information. So there was some exclusive information from Spirit that I don't feel led to share right now with the public, but there was other information from Spirit that I can share right now, and that was this dream I had that was extremely symbolic. Now, the dream that I had was, it was weird. It was like there was this girl, and this is a symbolic reality. So don't take any of this stuff like it's the true it's a symbolic reality for a lot of what we're dealing with in the world right now. So there was a girl, and she was pretty young, and she was running for president. But it was like everything was taking place in New York State, though. So New York State seems to be really symbolic at this time. So I just want to make that clear, that like what's happening in New York and the negative energy that's being gathered. It's being gathered. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Spirit just showed me. So the energy in New York is being gathered. So we want to work on in our meditations on clearing some of that energy, because that's a very powerful node. A lot of New York is actually built right on top of quartz crystal. So that's a huge portal, especially the Bronx. Little did you guys know. So that's a huge portal, and we're going to want to spend some time, whether like 5 minutes, once a week, twice a week, once a day. Like for me, because I'm from New York, I'll spend once a day sending some energy there to clear the area and to clear the earth there, because it was purposely set up so that the energy there is like a funnel. And if the energy there stays negative and dense like that, it's a portal to pull in like energies. Oh, so that's where a lot of these shadow people that have been popping up, and these weird entities, if any of you have noticed like weird energies lately, they're coming in through portals such as the one in New York. That's not the only one, but that's one of the major ones. So this is like hacking the reality. This is a way archonic energies are creating these portals, manipulating our reality and our technology, our spiritual technology, and creating these portals to resonate with and bring energy onto the planet when she's already so burdened. And if any of you have been reading the Schumer residence, it's been at a 0 lately. So it's been pretty interesting stuff going on. So Earth is, resetting herself. For lack of a better term. So in the dream, this girl is running for president, and it was like president of New York or whatever. And in the dream, she's running for president, and then she wasn't told about a Saturday that she needed to be at some big election or whatever, like show face. Because when she went to bed Friday night, she looks and she's like, okay, I'm in the lead. I'm more likely than not going to win. She thought Friday was the last day that people were voting. And it turns out that Saturday, there was one more day of voting, and she needed to be there because it would have pushed her up in the polls. Even though she was ahead, it gave her evil dad a chance. And these are all metaphors, so I'm going to explain it in a second. But it gave him a chance to get ahead of her and to manipulate the polls. So, when he won, she was like really mad, and she was really like in this energy, and she started talking about what happened and how she was done wrong on the street, and she created a soul family. So she had like 4 or 5 other people that were like, yeah, we're with you. We understand. And then I remember that in the dream, she tries to leave New York. This is the interesting part, because in the dream, she tries to leave New York, and there's a person in a hazmat suit standing there with, those big ass swabs that they're using to do that stupid test, yeah, well, I don't even know, the vid, we'll call it. But it was like a huge swab with a big tip, and they were like, to leave New York to go to New Jersey, you either have to get swabbed and get tested, or you have to take, they actually called it a chipped vaccine. I said the word, right? But they called it, they were like, this is a microchip, needle. We'll just say that. So it was like, either you did that or you did this. And as she was walking in, there was a family, a father and 2 daughters. And they were looking kind of like sad and sickly all of a sudden. And she was like, hey, what, they're all members of the same people. Hey, what happened to you guys? They're like, oh, we got tested and we were mildly sick. And they were all like, but it looked like getting the test actually made them sick. It was so weird because like all of a sudden they were really sick when they were fine. But like the test made them worse. It was some weird thing. So then there was that. And then as she's going around trying to get people to understand that like she was supposed to win this election, and her dad, manipulated the numbers so that, hi, Omun-Ra, Ashe, since we're taking the names of gods on Facebook. So she's going around trying to get people to rally around her. And she's like snooping around, like looking for more information. And she finds out that there was this plan. And she sees her dad and all these people like laughing, like smoking cigars, like they're all laughing. And they've got a map of the United States up. And they have this map of the United States up. And with the map of the United States, there's like states that are shaded in darker, and those were the states that wouldn't comply. And then all the red states, or they were like had them brighter or whatever. The colors in this case really don't mean anything, but those were the states that would comply. And they said that any states that wouldn't comply with the federal regulations were no longer part of the union. So that's I'll decode all this stuff in a second. Sweetie, can you give me my book right there? Because I got notes on there and I forgot to. Sorry, I know. Thank you. You're the best. Oh. So what ended up happening was that so there was that, and then she crashes this huge meeting, right? So he's the new president, even though it was like the way everything done was illegal. And he's like having a big speech, and she crashes the conference, and she starts telling everybody everything, starts telling everybody the truth. And then everybody boos her off the stage. They kick her outside. So then she starts crying. And then after the conference, there's a mob of like it was like everybody had so much fear that they started attacking her for telling the truth. So that was a big lesson for us that know the truth about what's going on, that can feel the energy, that know the manipulation. Like it's really, really important for us that even though we know the truth, to deal with people maybe more on a one-on-one or small group basis, other people who are open-minded, because these people will attack you because they're so afraid right now. If you try and speak your truth. Oh, you got a diddy bop with it? So if you try to speak your truth, or if you try to, speak in front of the mob, they might attack you. They're so afraid at this time. And there's really not that much going on. I mean, realistically, yeah, my hair's been doing things today. But anyway, realistically, there's really not that much going on. It's like, how afraid do you want to be? I mean, this is stuff that's happening on planet Earth. Okay, so now let's get into this. Oh, and then at the end of the dream, she's running away from the mob, and there was a lady with long, and I feel like this was a spiritual message for me. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you. Sending them right back, my love. So I feel like this part was a spiritual message for me to bring back for the collective. So there was a lady, and I feel like I was connecting with the druids because I've been connecting in with them and with the fairies. You guys have been big on fairies lately. Is there anything the universe wants me to know? I don't know right now, sweetie. I'm not talking about that, but you can message me and we'll talk. Joe said, "What's up?" He said, "What's up, Deshaun Hawkins?" He put your whole name.
Hey, why you blame the whole girl? Tell him I said it was good. Grand evening to our queen,
gods and goddesses. I think y'all heard him. So as I'm running, because I was seeing everything through this woman's perspective, or this woman, her perspective. So as I'm running back to and I literally woke up right after this. I'm looking and I'm seeing that this lady's giving me Morse code. And that is like the weirdest thing. I never had someone give me, even in a dream, it was like telepathic Morse code. And I could hear the dots and the dashes, and I'm like, I didn't even know I knew Morse code. This is great. But she was like, don't forget. So while I'm sleeping, I'm literally, I remember now, while I was asleep, I was tapping my finger on the side of the bed, or on the pillow probably or something, but so I would have it in my muscle memory. But yeah, so let's get into some of the decoding. And I'm going to get into the Morse code, which actually I went to this PDF called Esoteric Alphabet. I went through there to decode, and then I got the numerology, and I was able, like, the email really explains this well. So it's not a real election. Don't go voting for Cruella de Vil that's on the ticket right now. I mean, I'm not voting at all, so I'm not political. So basically, it was the feminine. It was the rise of the divine feminine, and then you have an older man. And it's funny too, because spirit science, when they first put the creation, their own little animation of the creation story out years ago, it was an older masculine energy that was oppressing a younger feminine energy, okay? So this is something that's happened. It's part of our history on Earth. And that's exactly what that is here. Now it was time for the divine feminine to become president, or to become the ruler, and then when she ruled, it was going to be prosperous for everyone. And she wasn't even more like a ruler. She was more like a guide. Like, she wouldn't even want to be called a ruler. She would be more like a guide. But when she was, to be in that position, she was going to change everything, make everyone happier, make things more prosperous. And then Spirit was basically using that as a symbol to show us that some negative manipulation is going on right now, and that this old guard doesn't want to give up their throne, but their time is over. So we have to kick these people out. We have to kick these old beings out. They're old. They're not that old, and they don't even really have souls for the most part. So, like, let's kick these archons, these reptilians, let's kick them all out. Kick them out. All the people they've taken over, bye. Get out of our bodies, get out of our consciousness, get out of our lives. Like, we want to be happy again on Earth. And now is the time. Now is the time for it. So let me think. What was some other codes in the dream? Oh, so the civil war obviously going on between our states right now, and thank you to the governors and the senators, the people that have been trying their best not to fall victim to everything that's going on. They've been trying to kind of find a middle path and a way to sort of like not to put too much pressure on and scare the shit out of the people in their state. Every state has programming right now, and I just really, really love and appreciate and value the people who are trying their best with the best intentions to act servants. So I just want to say thank you, guys. Especially on a local level, because that actually does a difference. So the mini civil war is also set up to create division, and the reason why we're all being kept apart is so that we don't come together in love, because our capacity to love and our capacity to share the frequency of love right now is very, very high and very, very profound. So that's something that we're going to want to, like, whenever you meet people, it doesn't matter whether you speak to them or not, try and exude a frequency of love. Even if you don't like their energy, you don't have to hang out with them before yourself. Just exude divine love. Be like, you know what? I am divine love. I am the great mother. I am the all. You know what I mean? And allow that energy to flow through you as a high vibrational vessel. So what was another code? So we talked about not trying to shout our truth to the mob because they might attack us. We talked about the blue and the red. We talked about and I think there might be some manipulation in this upcoming election, but I didn't get that as a super clear channel. I feel like it was a metaphor more for the manipulation of this system to keep going. Like, that's what they're trying to do, keep this old system going when it's time for something that's new and that's better for everyone here on Earth. And then, okay, now we can get to the final part. So because the main stuff I got covered. So the letter U and the number and the letter I. And U in Morse code is ... and I in Morse code is 2 dots. And I only needed this really quick for notes. So U represents the womb. So that's the yin energy. That's the, the potential energy, That's the energy of where we go within, where we create spiritual balance. This is also a portal energy because it resonates with the number 11. Also the duality energy because it resonates with the number 2. And then also 4 and 7. So 4 is a manifestation. 4 is like when something's finally born in the reality. And 7 is like spiritual wisdom, spiritual knowledge. So it really is speaking to the feminine energy, the you. Now the I, see, how did I get this channel in a dream? I don't know, but it was very profound. And the I represents the masculine energy, the solar energy, the I, the individual, the ego when it's balanced. And ego, is actually Latin just for the word I. It's I am that I am. So just balance your ego, whatever. Balance it out, get it together. And in numerology, that resonates with the number 8 and the number 3 and 5. And I forgot what I wrote down for those because I don't use those numbers a lot. I don't remember. I have it in the email and I don't have it in front of me right now. But I know 3 and 3, I got into the Trinity, the Mother, the Father, and the Child. And then 5 is the pinnacle, the number for the body, actually. So, and it's also the 5 elements. Well, the last one would be soul or ether, but it would be water, fire, air, and earth. So it's the I, and it's the action. So it's the yang energy. So together, check this out. This was such a cute little anagram. But together, so the message that I got from this dream in Morse code that I decoded, together it's you and I. Isn't that beautiful? It's you and I. So it's pointing all, it was a multidimensional message and it was given so elegantly. So I just want to thank the Druids for that and the Fae. And Mother Earth herself. So it's you and I. So it's a lot of soul families coming together. It's a lot of us realizing that we don't need to be codependent, but we should be interdependent. And we can create our own communities and we can create our own structure within our own soul groups and soul families. And, obviously in accordance with free will, allowing people to come and go with love. Having certain rules so people don't overstep boundaries or try and manipulate other people. But it's you and I. And then it's also the yin and yang symbol, right? I always look at it as 2 koi fish, like a dark and a light koi fish in a circle swimming. But it's also the yin and yang symbol. So it's wholeness. It's wholeness and balance. You and I. So it's like we need each other, and then we also need to balance our own energies. It's taking time to go inside and be intuitive, and then taking right action. So this was a beautiful message. Now, you want to know the inversion of it? I thought you'd never ask. So the inversion of it, this is going to fuck you guys up, is UI, which exists in almost every state. And it's called unemployment insurance. Whatever you mean. Don't take unemployment insurance if you need it, but don't depend on it in the long run. Because I was like, Spirit, why are you taking me to unemployment insurance? I was like, this is so random. So I had to go into meditation. Some stuff is just like, I'm like, okay, higher self, let's try and figure this out. So I had to go into meditation. I had to really contemplate on this. And what I found out was that unemployment insurance, first of all, we all pay into unemployment as an insurance, but we were never given a contract. We were never asked if we wanted it. Most of us never use it. And then there's a lot of rules, so you never get the money back on that. So that's already a negative contract. So if you look at it as souls, it's a negative soul contract. Conscious and subconscious becoming one. Excellent, Joe. But unemployment insurance, when we depend on the system too much, like have a backup, and also to learn to trust your inner self. So the unemployment insurance is, I don't want to say it's a scam, but how all these people were in unemployment, it was more to get people's energy and to get them to depend on the system. It was more of a socialist, communist sort of like energy. Instead of being like, I know you're going to need us for a little while and, you know, start your own business, do this, do that, to get back on your feet. But it was more like, no, stay with us as long as you can. Keep giving us your energy, and we're going to give you this money. And that's all that energy is bad, honestly, because they got too many leaks. So they're not really able to hold it the way they used to, and the vibration's too high. All that energy is being used to usher in a new system that locks people down even further in their consciousness and creates more sadness on the planet. So yeah, who would have thought something so simple that every single state offers could be so insidious? And a lot of people don't know, so don't blame people. Like this is a system that's been around for a long time, and I'm sure the energy was building in it, and nobody knew what the ultimate plan was that was, you know, for it. So don't get angry, just be aware. Be aware that you need to learn to manifest within the reality. And that's why that leads to another point. I did create a new Patreon. I had to change the name because prosperity and abundance are overused. But I changed the name. I called it, what did I call it? Oh, I called it, it's a living course. So it's a guide to spiritual opulence and creation magic, because that's more in alignment with what we're doing here. So it's learning how to manifest through the reality. So even if you had no money, there's going to be certain exercises and certain things that you can do and learn for yourself so that you can step forward. No, even if you have nothing but the shirt on your back and some sandals on your feet, you know what I mean? Like, you could step into the world with confidence and know that you know how to magnetize everything that you need to you. So that's a process, and it's something that I did learn how to do through my spiritual practice. Yeah, basically it's selling your soul. Exactly. And it's not exactly selling your soul, like force energy. Okay, so now that we got stuff out of the way, I'll do a thing. Thank you guys for staying. Because I know that was a lot, and it was a lot of chatting today. Who do we want? I think I'm gonna just, no, I'm feeling the golden tarot. I'm gonna go kind of basic right now, because I don't want to do anything too complicated, because it's been a while. And I may have to chop this video up into like pieces, like literally. Yeah, because it is what we got at the bottom. Like I just said, you got everything you need. Magician card. Okay, hello. Wake up. Sometimes you get a knock on the door. So I want to thank my higher self, your higher selves. I want to thank the collective consciousness. I want to ask that any negative energies be cleared from the collective consciousness. Any messages that need to come through now. I want to thank Archangel Michael for his protection. I want to thank Archangel Metatron for his wisdom. I want to thank all the archangels, Raphael, Gabriel, the rest of them, all my buddies for just being there and being so supportive. I want to thank my higher self, and of course I want to thank the Great Mother for her wisdom, for her guidance, and I want to thank Gaia for supporting our lives here. And I just want to ask that no negative energies, nothing manipulative come through. This is a pure channel. Thank you, Ashe. Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of wows, right? I was like, who would have thought? First of all, how do you get Morse code in a dream? Like, that just bugged me out. I was like, what is this Morse code? And are you transmitting it to me telepathically? That is some like hardcore, like magical shit. Like, for real. Okay, let's see what we got. Ooh, right at the end, huh? Ace of Wands. Ooh, people are feeling kind of feisty. End of the summer energy, huh? And I'll clarify that. We have the Magician in reverse. Very interesting. He came out up right before. I think I know why, though. Honestly, I can pull less cards and channel more information from them now. It's very weird. Somebody got a tarot reading. And they just someone got a tarot reading. Beautiful sister. And I basically just channeled. Like, I pulled like 4 cards and I just channeled everything from the cards. It was super easy. Joe, if you're still here, can you throw my booking page, if you have the link, in the chat so people have it? If not, it's okay. I'll post it. Oh, we have Judgment in reverse. Why is that? That's an interesting one. I might actually have to use some clarifiers today. That is super interesting. See, I haven't read in a while. I can't wait to see what everybody gets. This feels like there's a small group of people that are working really hard, and I want to say that's the spiritual people that are working on their personal development, on their soul mission. They're like us in small groups, just working on things. I'll pull one more, and then I want to pull some clarifiers. Ooh, Tower. Okay, well, I saw that. Yeah, it's in the email. I did have a vision about some energies that came through like this. I think soon, probably in the next week or 2, I'll be able to talk about it. I'm just waiting on directions from Spirit. Thank you, sweetheart. All right, Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Ooh, you know, rush of love through your heart. It's like the best thing ever. Okay. Oh, beautiful. 9 of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, so if 9 of Pentacles is clarifying this Ace of Wands, then collectively there is an opportunity, right action, divine action. And if you feel called to act on certain gifts, certain things that you have, definitely do it right now. Because Ace of Wands is a gift from Spirit, but you have to go out and get it. You know what I mean? It's an opportunity. So some of you guys are going to have some opportunities that you see, but you need to work for them this time. And it's going to put you in a nice situation where you'll be very independent. Because this nine of Pentacles is a very independent woman, independent energy. So if you've been going through some cycles where you feel like you were having some codependence, or you weren't able to be independent financially, or just in your life, you're going to come to a space now, if you take the opportunity, that independence will manifest in the future, in the next couple of months. It'll start coming to fruition. Oh, the winter is going to be a good time for you guys to, I just got that too. The winter is going to be a good time for you guys to regroup, and you want to work through the winter this year. You don't want to stop. You don't want to take a break. You want to work on yourself, work on what you need to do through the winter. You can in the spring, which is better anyway. Okay, this is shadow work. Because then we're also getting a 3 of Swords reversed over the, yeah, this has to be, because it's over the Magician in reverse. And when I pulled the Magician in reverse, the first thing I saw was like baby souls is the best way I can describe it. But like baby souls, or like my children, and they don't know how powerful and how wonderful and how amazing they are. And they don't know the tools that they already have available to them. So what, and this is being time, but what has been blocking is your blocked heart chakras. And an opportunity, you have to do the shadow work, but you will have more access to your gifts if you start clearing emotional trauma, negative thought patterns. Spirit said negative attachments as well. Yeah, so if any of you need a chakra reading or clearing, please contact me. I'll be more than happy to help you. If you don't want to work with me, just find yourself a practitioner that you trust. Please, and get the spiritual work that you need done. Because that, you get one session and it'll set you up for the next couple of months. So then we also have Judgment in reverse. And let's see why that is. I noticed, and I was talking to a beautiful sister that hit me up today. She was amazing. Thank you, sweetie. It came out so weird, but maybe I can copy it and repost it the way you did it, Joe. Nah, I'll just. Well, you guys know Empress Isabel Setmore. The Empressisabel.setmore.com. There you go. If not, the link will be here after. If you guys want to check, I'll put it up. So I've been noticing a lot more shadow people. And then I was talking to the sister today, and she said she noticed the same thing, that there's a lot of weird energies, a lot more shadow people. I'm like, I haven't seen shadow people literally in 6 years since I raised my vibration. And I've been raising my vibration. And I want to say that, and it was funny that this Judgment card came up because it reminded me of what we were talking about. And we were talking about how, I was talking to her, there we go. I was just going back and rewriting exact. I was talking to her about Judgment, how they, in the Bible, how it says the dead, people will rise from the dead. And I was like, man, what if that really was pertaining to the souls world and these trapped souls coming up from the underworld now? They're literally rising from the dead, because that's the only considered even dead. So souls that died in a low vibration, they're having an opportunity to come up now and get their energy cleared and move on. So if you do come across some of these souls, if you don't know how to handle it, just sage, make sure you pull on your spirit guides, and make sure you tell them to leave your house, command that they leave. But if you do know how to work with them, try and help them spread the light through their body and ascend. Because I think that these shadow people are just lost souls at this point. I think a lot of them are just lost souls, and they've all got a different story. And what if you were one of them? Wouldn't you want somebody to help you ascend? But yeah, so that's kind of interesting. Anyway, that was a tangent. That was kind of interesting. But Judgment is reversed. So some people, so that was one thing it was connected with on a whole nother level. But personally, on a human level, this is connected in with, you guys are going to be, some of you, not all of you, are going to be revisiting old patterns, old patterns that you made, old partners, old flames for some of you. Yikes. And you're just going to be reevaluating some things from the past, and people who have already kind of made their mind up about what they wanted to change from the past and moving forward, they're really not going to have this process. And people who have not quite made their mind up yet, or still kind of going back and forth in their mind, there's a last little bit of residual clearing that's going to come up. And for anybody else, I'm sorry to say. So just try to ride the waves, ride the energy. If you haven't been doing that healing work, that clearing work, and learning how to stand in your sovereignty, learning how to heal from those past wounds, it's going to be a little bit chaotic, and you're going to want to just question your triggers at this time and try to stay grounded as possible. Spend a lot of time to yourself, contemplate, don't overthink at the same time. Sometimes you got to go outside, do things, take a walk, switch up the vibe. But it's gonna be a time for people to be thinking, to be revisiting things in their mind as well. Okay. So that's clarified. And this was kind of interesting with the Queen of Cups energy. And like I said, like some people are going to be contemplating the past so much. The feminine energy is yin. That's inner energy. This is too much yin. She's reversed. This is like, and usually that's good, but in this case, this is over excessive yin. So spending too much time inside the mind, too much time inside your shell, too much time contemplating your emotions, like in spirit saying this is manipulative energy as well. Like you might be spending some time inside yourself and not talking to others how you feel because you're actually trying to manipulate them emotionally, and you're trying to like play the field or see what your next move will be, and you're not talking about how you actually feel, like a liar. Because it is good to some extent to keep some things to yourself until you're ready to speak, but this, when it's over excessive like this is very manipulative energy. So you guys are going to want to really be honest with yourself at this time. So then we have these guys over here. We have this group of people that are, you know, they're really focused on their business, or they're really focused on self-improvement, and they've got the number 8 there, infinity, to infinity and beyond. My 8s. Let's see what the mother has for us for that. Okay. Oh, High Priestess. Oh, these people are doing great. Yeah, this is the energy you really want. And I just saw the number 5. So that reminds me of a pinnacle. That reminds me of the perfected man / woman. But yeah, we have the High Priestess upright. So yeah, these people, yeah, I mean, there's not that much I could say. I really like this one because this is more like me. Me. Probably the Ace of Wands with this nice independent energy coming in, where I am spending a lot of time taking action. And then this is totally me too. And some of you as well, obviously. So this is another group, and they're spending all this time working on their passion, working on their soul, even working on finding their soul purpose, but they're really engaged in this process. And some of them may be people that like work from home, but whatever it is that's your purpose and the way you want to build your lifestyle and stuff, you're very intently focused on it at this time. And it's going to manifest to this, to the High Priestess. You're going to be in touch with that divine feminine energy. Spirit's also asking that you use your discernment and your intuition, and that you don't just work for the sake of working, but that when you do, and when you are working, and when you are intently focused like that, that you are, she's saying in accordance with the rule of law. That's so weird, but I want to say in accordance with the rule of spiritual law. And I think that she means the ebb and flow, the law. Where's Rich when you need him? The law of harmony? The law of rhythm. That's what it was. Because Rich knows all these by heart. The law of rhythm. So it's like being in the ebb and flow of life, knowing when you got to put the work tools down and do something else, and then knowing when it's time, and then, you know, switching. If you have something where you do different things, you're knowing when to switch. Because if you don't stay balanced like that, yeah, it's going to be really hard for you. And also I'm seeing this crescent moon here, and that's really sticking out. And I think it's sticking out as another aspect of just following your intuition. Like you're really going to be following your intuition. You're going to be following your inner emotional compass. Now let's see this tower group here. My guys that are just fuck it all. No, let me stop. I don't want to be like that, but I mean, and then there's the last group that, and some of you might belong to, I mean, it just came out as little groups, but some of you might belong to multiple groups. You know, take what resonates with you. Ooh, and that's funny too, because I wanted to do this as a pick a card, and Spirit kind of made it like a pick a card without doing a pick a card. So it's kind of like we're all in each other's business, huh? Nope, that's not the card. Why is this last one, wake up. This last one doesn't want to come out. Okay, here it is. I feel it. Man, this one is like, let's see what we got here. Oh, Two of Pentacles? What? What, Spirit? I'm pulling one more. It's like, I mean, I know this is bringing back balance for some people. So this big tower moment, this destruction, so anticlimactic though. It's like, dang. All this is happening just, just to balance things out for you. All right. I mean, I guess can't be mad. It is what it is. Spirit has spoken. Why did this just fall? Oh, snap. The World card just fell out. So, I know, I just thought of a whole new world. Give me some. Get into a whole new world. I love it. And this completion of cycles and beginning new cycles. That makes a lot of sense that actually came out. Bottom of the deck is the, are you the Emperor? Yes, you are. It's the Emperor in reverse. So that's what's on. Well, I'm not holding the rest of the deck here. Put what's on the bottom of the deck, and it's funny because what is it? An older man, and he's reversed. And oh my gosh, look at the card that fell, right? This is just what we were talking about in the dream. And then it's a young woman and she's upright, and then the old reverse. So these bigger cycles are affecting our cycles here. Wow, that is fascinating. Yeah, so it's just time for him to let go and get out of power because his time is over. His time's over. This malevolent patriarchy is over, and now it's going to be balanced. And if you notice, there's everything here. There's a little eagle. There's a little man. That looks like Virgo, but it's a man instead of a woman. We got a little lion, a little bull. So it's like a unit. It's like, and then she's in the middle. Probably representing more like a great mother or, just the divine feminine energy. And it's showing that the divine feminine, and it's a young woman and an old man. That's like tripping me out right now. Just like how when we talked about the dream, that was the whole thing, was that the girl, the whole thing was that the girl, it's her time. It's the divine feminine's time to rise and to be president, but really to be a guide for humanity and for the earth, for Malkuth. And this negative patriarchy is aged and old, and it's just time for them to go. And I think that's why it came out reversed. And it's also showing that aspect is it's just outdated, and it's also when the Emperor's reversed like that, it's a very, very malevolent, manipulative, and angry energy, like a tyrant. So it's also expressing true nature of those energies too, is this tyrant. But yeah, endings and beginnings. Those guys who are having their tower moments within the next 2 months, September, October, maybe into a little bit of the beginning of November, but when the tower moment comes, as things are getting cleared away, it's really, I feel like it's something that's going to pass pretty quick. And it's just to bring balance back into your life. There's been some imbalances. So anything that's being destroyed, even as you look around the world and things are being destroyed, it's literally just for balance, to bring balance back and harmony back to the earth. Okay, so that's my general energy reading for the collective consciousness. This was a very interesting one, and it was simple, elegant, and intricate all at the same time. If you guys would like to book a reading with me, I have the multi-dimensional soul reading and clearing, and it's like energy clearing. That we go everywhere with it. Akashic records reading, chakra reading and clearing, obviously tarot. Dream decodings are very cheap. If you can't afford like a more expensive reading, get an email reading. Get something that suits your budget. You know what I mean? I do have a range on purpose. If you're feeling called to like really learn how to be a powerful manifester, check out the Patreon. Anyway, I love you, honor, respect you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of our community. Thank you for being part of our community, and thank you for being a guiding light for others, and continue to do that. Continue to do your work. Continue to grow. Continue to clear your energy, and be fucking awesome. Night.